Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in Columbus, Ohio. In the previous episode, we finished up the 2034 NHL entry draft, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest, we didn't get a whole lot accomplished last episode during the draft. We drafted a few good players, but we didn't make deals to bolster this team because we've had some postseason. We've had a few disappointments here in the previous postseason, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do a few really awesome things here this episode just to help us in the long run. Now let's talk about the draft. Let's reminisce a little bit. Two of our top players that we drafted this year, Pascal Rivette with the 14th overall pick. Then we picked one of the best names ever computer generated in NHL 20. Spike Fragapane. I really want this guy to be an absolute stud. Could you imagine episodes called Spike Fragapane? Pain is in physical pain. Oh my god, it's going to be great. We get two really awesome right-wing prospects. But after that, it was kind of a meh draft. There was nothing that stood out. I think I'm going to have to go revamp the scouting staff because they didn't do a great job. And I have to blame myself just a little bit because I didn't optimize any of them. I was too worried about succeeding in the playoffs. And look where that got us. Now the draft is over and done with. Do I want to offer... I'll offer a contract to Kamitsky. He can come play in the AHL. I know I've tried to throw him in a couple of trades a few times. But, hey, he made it. Congratulations. Otters, we can give one to, and then they're both Canadian, so they can play in their respected CHL leagues for the next year. UFAs. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a tight off season, but with a lot of the young guys progressing, like Walker Cowan, Makinen, Piton, I think our bottom six is starting to look a bit better for the years to come. The only thing I'm worried about is a lot of our older guys starting to drop off. Zadina, I mean, where else do I go? Dubois, this might be one of his last seasons. 36 years of age, one more year on a almost $7 million contract. And I mean, it's gonna be great to get that kind of money back. But in the system, we don't have a lot of top-tier centermen. I mean, I think we have Inglis. I can't pronounce that. Whatever. But his best locker room chemistry is Hedin. And his lowest locker room chemistry is Hedin. Whatever. It's probably some EA thing. This guy's going to be good. 20 years of age, 76 overall. He'll be ready in the next year to come up into the NHL. He'll be great. I think he's a playmaker, so that works out perfectly. I mean, Dubois is going to be done. It's going to suck. But then we have guys like MP3. Then we have a few guys to turn to once we start getting older. And we might have a slight retool in a few years to come. But today is not that day. We also have Hansel. Carol Hansel, 19 years of age, 74 overall. He's going to be good. He's built not too shabby. A few more years in the AHL, and he should be ready to come up into the big leagues. But as you see right there, we have about $8.5 million to work with. And there are a few decisions that need to be made. First, I'm going to go ahead and handle all the AHL things. Release a few players. Sign a few players. Let's bring him back. Come on. You've been with this franchise for a while. Terzalungringler. I will never be able to pronounce that name, so you're going to have to live with it. Oh, I didn't mean to release him, but whatever. Goring, who's always been pretty solid for this team. What does he want? A 1-year, $1.8 million deal? I would do that. That's an easy contract to trade away if we need to. I know we should be handling Zadina and all them first, but I've done the math. We will have enough money to get everybody back. Times 0.85 equals... Nope. Thank you, calculator. Okay, so we can get him for about 5.5. Or... $1,550,000. So that's awesome. Cole Perfetti wants $5 million, and I'm not prepared to give that to him. He had an okay season from what I can remember. 51 points in 82 games. It's pretty good. Exact same stats as he had last year or the previous year in Chicago, but he's going to have to go make his money somewhere else. I think we have a few young guys that are ready to step up into that third line role as a centerman. So, Cole Perfetti, sad to see you go, but it's time. It's time. Philip Zadina, how much do you want? 2 years? I'll go 2 years. It's not much of a difference there. 6.175 times 0.85 equals... And if he doesn't sign this contract, I don't want to be overextending for him, because there might be a few guys in free agency that I'd like to go out and maybe acquire. But I don't know what free agency is looking like yet. Now we have a few contracts right here. Oh, I'm just on forward, sorry. Oh, that changes everything. Wingquist, what does Wingquist want? We're going to hold on to that. Beach, we're going to release him. McBride, I guess. Jarvinen I want to offer a contract to. Not Mikko Jarvinen, but I think Timu? Timu, wow. Maybe brother? And then we're going to release this guy right here, Lundin. Well, we won't worry about Wingquist right now. RFAs, Krebishkov, $3 million. We are going to qualify RFA. Maybe somebody will overextend for him. Heward, what kind of contract would you like? 3 years. I'll do that deal. Kruger, what do you want? Hell yeah, I'd do that. Richmond. Now, this is the guy that we acquired from Arizona to start the year. He wants $5 million over 6 years at a 75 overall, and that might be morale related, but either way, he's not worth that. So I'm going to go ahead and qualify. Maybe somebody will overextend for him too, and we can get a few picks back, which would be dope, wouldn't it? It would be so freaking fantastic. Any goalies up this year? We got this guy, Kari Lettonen. Gonna let him go. I do plan on trading one of my goalies, so I'm gonna go ahead and offer a contract to Olsen. I'll give one to Olsen. Maybe he can play. He'll play in the AHL this year. And LePerriere is up to a low franchise overall, so maybe he contends for that starting position here in the future, because Kavanagh had a terrible postseason, and I am very upset with him. What else do I want to say? Oh yeah, when I did sim to the re-sign phase, and during that, Walker Cowan did sign his contract extension, so we have him. Oh, my phone went off. I'm sorry, that's very unprofessional. 1.975 over the next 3 years, I think, is a great deal. He's 83 overall at 22 years of age. He's just going to get better, and he had a really good rookie season, 20-plus goals. So let's go ahead and sim a day. Don't give me problems. Just everybody come back. Okay, I did go out and get my coaches over and done with. So Gilbert comes back on. Okay, I just offered them a bunch of money. So it's all good. We got money to spare. Philip Zadina is going to reject the contract. That's not good. That kind of throws a wrench into my plans. Maybe we drop him and go into free agency and try to find somebody similar. We might have to do that. So who decided not to come back? Novikov can go. Wingquist, we will not worry about this moment. Yeah, we're not going to worry about Wingquist right now. That's not much of a problem. And then we are going to go ahead. I'll release Zadina right now. And then we're going to release Wingquist. And then go into free agency. Maybe there's a few things or a few people that we can maybe throw a little bit of money at. Because, you know, $7 million isn't going to take you anywhere here in 2034. It's not a lot of money. I mean, IRL, that's a lot of money. But in this game, at this point in the franchise mode, it's not even going to get you a top 6 forward anymore. So, I'm going to have to work my magic. I definitely want to throw one of my goalies on the block to see what we can acquire. Maybe a young centerman prospect to fill in for Dubois in the coming years, because Dubois is going to decline this year, and it's gonna hurt. So, who's in free agency? Who is it? Oh, wow. Okay. So we got Davis Donald, who was the 2nd overall pick in 2025 to the Winnipeg Jets. Patrick Laine, so the Jets lose 2 people? That is sad. I'm sorry, Winnipeg. Ugh. I mean, that'd be an awesome player to get on the team. Nathan McKinnon. Well, hello. We don't have a lot of money, so we'll come back to that. Legacy, William Nylander. I'll go to the most overall. Oh my God, Patrick Laine is a 96th overall. Jesus Christ. Now, what are we looking for? I didn't really specify what I had been looking for. I mean, Zadina is a right winger, and he's left-handed, I believe. So in a perfect world, we're looking for a third line left winger, because Cowan is a right, and I'd rather keep the young guy on his strong side. I mean, we got Antonio Stranges, who ain't too shabby. He might work there. We got a few defensemen, some of them who were ours. Norena and Payette. Isn't that funny? Ha 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 ha. Funny. Just for Brat. I mean, oh, we got Mikhail Pressburg. Mikhail Pressburg, former Columbus Blue Jacket. I will keep that in mind. Also, Labrie, who's a former Blue Jacket. Okay. Any young guys that slip through the draft that I can maybe acquire? Not looking like it. Maybe there's a goalie or two. I'm always trying to acquire goalies. Who's the best goalie here? Maui? Oh, I can't pronounce that. I will not try to pronounce that because I do not want to embarrass myself. Now, like I said, before I do anything, I want to try and find a trade for one of my goalies. Now you might be like, which goalie, Owen? Which goalie you gonna trade? And I think the odd man out right now is Forsstrom. I really like LaPerriere. He's a year younger than Forsstrom. I think they were drafted in the same year, if I'm not mistaken, 2029, 2030. So, I definitely want to go with the franchise goalie. And then we got Gerber coming up. We have Olsen. We have a few awesome prospects in the system, but I think the odd man out right now, who hasn't gotten much time to prove himself, is Cale Forsstrom. So I'm going to throw him on the block. Find a trade. Okay, anybody here? Alexander Holtz. Okay, that is something to keep in mind. Okay, I'm gonna go check the block. Just because I think it might be easier finding potential trade partners, because the find a trade never works unless you're doing like a rebuild. If you like set your block properly and try to get like a third line forward. You're never going to find it. It's always going to be like, here's a second and here's a middling prospect. But so is life. I do love the feature because it really helps out with rebuilds, like, immensely. Like, picks here, picks there, flying all over the place. But in the long run, it's not the best. It's not the best. Anybody out here for cheap? I feel like I'm doing this every year. Edmonton, nobody knows. Come on, it's free agency. Who's out here? Who wants to do me a favor? Wow, Tolvanen and $12 million. Yeah. Jack Hughes. Well. 7. Hello there. Oh. I mean, Dubois is older, and Dubois could fit on the third line. I really like that. And he's probably really good offensively, isn't he? So he's dipped off here the last few years, but I don't know what kind of players he's been playing with, but I'm assuming that he's awesome. Roswo is an 86 overall. We let go of this dude? I mean, it must be morale, right? I'd assume so. Right? God dang it, EA. Can you do me one favor? Oh, who was that guy right there? Right winger? Not bad either. Nick Suzuki. Okay. He is 34 instead. Jack Hughes is 33. I mean, who? This is definitely an interesting time. 82 points with the Sens. But before that, he was kind of middling in San Jose. 75 was his best season there. Arizona, he was a 60-point guy. I mean, who knows how much he's going to drop within this next year, and I don't want to be giving up a whole lot of money. I mean, this guy ain't too shabby either. Okay, a lot of options here. A lot of options, and we do have to bring back a defenseman in free agency. Winquist or somebody, because we did lose Winquist. We dropped him just so we could handle it in free agency. Anybody here? So many expensive defensemen. Oh my lord. Oh my god, you ain't worth it, Reinhardt. Anybody? Nope. Awesome. So I'm stuck between two players. Whoa, wait, hold on a second. Hold your horses. 43 goals? I want this guy. Or Sillinger. Okay. I am listening. Cole Sillinger, who is on the block. 2 more years at 7. So that would just be right under how much cap space we actually have. And now we'd move Dubois to the third line. I'm not opposed to that. Is he good offensively? 72 points ain't too shabby. Year before 90. He is a top 6 forward. Yeah, he's a top 6 forward. And this guy's only got the top 9. So I'd be more inclined to pick up the guy with the better potential just because he has a likely probability of staying at that overall range for a few more years. Okay. These are some things I am definitely contemplating. I mean, Vegas is out of conference. So, that's a lot. So we're going to have to give up a lot. I mean, do they want the goalie? That would cut a lot of trade value. Come on, Forstrom. They want Forstrom. Okay, Forstrom. Awesome. Now, do we have any more? We have a lot of prospects, obviously, but do we have any that I'm okay with giving up? This is the question. Now, both of these guys are 23 years of age. Tremblay I'd throw on there. And then I would probably do Heward as well. And then maybe I throw one of these guys in. And then I throw Heward. Oh, come on. Do the trade. Trade rejected. We are giving up a lot, but we are getting another awesome player to add to this team. And we'll give you a second next year. Trade rejected. Okay. So this is going to be a bit harder than I had originally thought, but I really want this guy now. Okay. How about 2 medium elite goaltenders? But we will take off... We'll take off Tremblay. And you retain a bit? Like, let's say $1 million you retain. No. You're going to retain more than that if we're giving you that much. You retain $2 million, and then I do that deal. Trade accepted. I know you might be thinking, oh, and you gave up so much. We gave up a bit. We definitely did, but look at the goalie situation they were in. They get another good prospect in Kaupinen. They get Forstrom, who's going to be their starter. Then they get a middling prospect in Heward, who is, I don't think he's going to turn out to be anything special, considering he's 23.75 overall. And then they get an unsigned prospect. But then we get another centerman who is going to fill in for Dubois. Even though they're not similar players, Dubois can slot down to the third now, and it makes us a whole lot deeper. Dubois on your third line is huge. Now, we're kind of now a little bit in a pickle. We have $3 million, which is more than I had anticipated having. Okay, I can work with that. Defense is what we're trying to acquire. Any cheap defensemen out here? Not necessarily. Not a lot of cheap D-men is... There's not a lot of them out there, boys. Do we go ahead? Oh, hello. Are you an RFA? I'm assuming you're an RFA. Yeah. He's an RFA, everybody. Joy to the world. Do we go ahead and acquire Winquist again? I think we do. He's been pretty good. But we'll give you 1 year. $3 million? Or 2.925? I think you should do that deal, man. I think it works out in both parties' favors. Both parties' favors? Does that sound right? I'm not great at English, everybody. I'm not great at any language, really. Jeremy Winquist has signed that contract. That is awesome. So I think we are set to go for the 2034-2035 regular season. I'm going to go ahead, fix the lineups up. If there's any trades that I need to make, I'll go ahead and let you know. So after a little bit of messing around with lines, I think I have found my 2034-2035 regular season roster, and let's just jump right into it. Of course, that first line, there is no need to change it. Jeffrey Woodworth, Matthew Savoie, and Monday Night Raw. It's like that first line is undeniably the best thing going in the NHL, and so you see right there, Jeffrey Woodworth is 32 years old. He's going to be done soon, relatively speaking, right? Because it feels like yesterday that Woodworth was an 18-year-old rookie who came in, should have won the Calder, won 3 Stanley Cups instead. I mean, I hope he plays forever. Then you got Savoie. Waugh was drafted the year after Woodworth. Or the same year. I'm unsure. 2020. Yeah, no, they were drafted in the same year. No, what? Wildwood's second year. Never mind. I lied. Now, one of the biggest and weird things making this roster is seeing Cole Sillinger slotted into the second line instead of Dubois. I mean, Dubois is getting plenty of time elsewhere. I mean, 36 years of age. He's now at a bottom 6 exact potential. So I'd rather give it to the more offensive guy. I'm hoping this top 6 just absolutely lights it up. And now the centerpiece of the bottom 6 is Pierre-Luc Dubois, who always comes up in clutch situations. And it is a contract year for him, so I'm hoping that he doesn't just, like, drop off and put up 30 points. He has plenty of time. Power play, I believe, a few penalty kill lines, so I'm sure he'll do well there. Fallon, Giroux, obviously, so top 6 is good as always. I mean, Sillinger, I think, is that extra piece that will just help us get better. Is that the word to describe? I mean, our top 6 has always been efficient, but these playoff runs have been mind-numbingly terrible. So getting him, moving Dubois to the third line, I think increases our chances of success. Then you got Walker Cowan, Makinen, so that is a very young bottom 6, excluding Dubois and Goring. I mean, Goring, who we got back, is always an efficient fourth line player. Last year he had 24 points. The year before he had 32. He's always been a fourth line guy, but he's always been very consistent there. I'm hoping he puts up relatively the same numbers this coming year. Then you got Zach Piton on the fourth line. He'll hunker down that fourth line. I mean, we only have him for like 6 more years at 1.7, so that's a perfect fourth line center. And then the rookie, 21 years of age, Caleb Dietz. 79 overall, 28th pick in the first round 3 drafts ago. His shooting category's pretty good. I mean, everything else is pretty good. I was debating leaving him in the AHL for 1 more year, but I think he is the best guy to come up onto this roster, and maybe we can move him there, move him around if he gets better. If he progresses quicker than I think he is, then he's a perfect career bottom 6 guy or third line guy for this team. So it works out for us. Now, the defense. How's it looking this year? Stu Cam Jarvinen, obviously. Carlos. Boutin. BB Gun is now his nickname. So, can he just be a sniper? I mean, his stats aren't... I mean, his offensive stats aren't great, but he is like a defensive defenseman. Or more two-way defenseman. So, he'll be a good defenseman there. 6'5", 20 years of age. He's a good player. So we got him from New Jersey, I believe, last year. I want to say New Jersey, but I can't be too sure. I think we did. I can't remember. Then we got Francis Swift, which it is a contract year for him as well, and then Jeremy Wingquist. Special teams, we got, obviously, Jeffrey Woodworth rocking the top and bottom power plays there. See, Dubois has plenty of time there. Awesome. Scroll through it pretty quickly. Penalty kill is looking like that. Obviously, if we need to change anything up in the calendar year, we obviously will. You know, I'll hit the panic button and do something stupid. And then the 3-man penalty kill, I mean, I couldn't fix this -1 on the second 3-man penalty kill unit, but considering their high overalls, I don't think it should be that much of a problem. Then we got extra lineups, 4-on-4, 4-on-4 continued, 3-on-3, and then extra attackers. Shootouts looking like that. Also, our scratch players are Asher Manning, and you're like, he's 23 years of age, top 6. Why don't you just go out and get a guy in free agency? Defense are asking for so much money, and I think Manning's built pretty well. I mean, his defensive stats I mean, his physical stats could be better, but it looks like he would be a good fill-in defenseman once the injuries come our way. And he doesn't have much more time to progress, so hopefully he can be a lockdown guy for us. And then we got Nick Robertson, which is a pretty good depth piece for us. Oh, and goaltending, obviously. Well, how could I forget about goaltending? Vyacheslav Kavanov, 28 years of age, trying to go for his 4th Vezina and William M. Jennings trophies in a row. And then we got Hugo Laperriere. So maybe he contends for a job here in the future. Nobody knows. The AHL, which I'm so excited to talk about. This is our first line. I'm so incredibly lucky with how I've drafted forward-wise in the last few years, getting guys like MP3, Mikhail Rodin, Carol Hansel, who's 19 years of age. Oldest guy on this line is Rodin, and he's looking pretty well. All these guys here are going to be great weapons when they come up to the league. I mean, Sniper, Rodin's a playmaker, and then MP3 is a sniper. And that's a fantastic first line to have in the AHL. I hope they just go off and crush worlds. Mario Tremblay, Valery Kamitsky, and then we got Christian Smiles, which ain't too shabby of a second line. They're all pretty young. The guy that I want to see a little bit more from is Mario, just because he doesn't have that much more time to progress. Armright Bulbrook, Johan Kruger, then we got Milosh, who I don't know how we still have him. Did we draft him? We did. The more you know, I guess. DuPont, Emil Schultz, and then we got Essa Janinla. Defense is looking like this, and I couldn't get it to look much better, but their overall stats, or their overalls, will help. That -1 isn't going to be that much of a deal. I expect this AHL team to contend. Goaltending-wise, Max Gerber, and then we got... I don't want Parker. I want to go with the medium league guy. In Olsen. Stefan Olsen. Now, the special teams, I guess we go through. I want to check personally and see if it's looking good. No, man. Who do I take off? I guess we'll take off Bulbrook and we'll put in... Oh, I didn't do that. I should have done this off camera, but it's already too late, guys. It's already too late. Okay, I think I got it all set out. There are a few AHL special teams that I'm not too sure about, but they should contend either way. I want to make sure MP3 is on a bunch of lines this year. Penalty kills aren't looking too good, but their overall should counteract that. Awesome. Awesome. So I think it is time that we head in... No, wait! There's a few things I have to do before we head into the season. Now, obviously... Now, I didn't tell you what happened to 2 defensemen that I offered contracts to this past offseason. Richmond, and then we got Grebishkov. Now, both of these guys are asking for a bit of money. Richmond's asking for a bit, and we just don't have the money to... We don't have the money to spend anymore. And I think the defensive roster that we already have is good enough without Richmond and Grebishkov. Now, what did I just press? Okay. And I want to trade him away just so it's done and over with before the season starts. So let's go ahead. Anybody want 2 prime defensemen for maybe a few picks? Tamara, no thank you. Maybe I'll just do it 1 by 1. God dang it, why is it the Y square button? Why? Why have you betrayed me? Come on, one more time. One more time. I swear to God. Richmond. There we go. Okay. Do we got anything here? 26 trades. Anything super awesome out here in the land of the NHL of L? Nope. Heward that we just traded away. Isn't that funny? I think we are going to go with Anaheim's pick. I'll just do it straight up. Accept the trade, Richmond. You've been a bust. I mean, you were fine, but you weren't anything super special. Grebeshkov, I feel like you've been on this roster for a very long time, and I think you've served your team well, but it's just time for you to go, man. I will snag Dallas's pick. Accept the trade. Just because Dallas has been pretty bad. So we're going to go ahead. I think the rosters are ready and set to go. Hold on. One more thing. I know. This is a long episode, but I don't care. You're here. You're watching. Now, Dubois and Swift are free agents this coming season. How much does Mäkinen want? Not a lot. Over 8 years? Hold on. Well... If we're doing this, we're doing it the right way. 8 years, we'll get him locked up just like Zach Piton. 2.425 times 0.85 equals, we can get him for just over 2 mil, and I think that works perfectly for both sides. Totally. And then Swift, what is Swift asking for this coming soon? Well, yikes. He's just going to ask for more, isn't he? That's probably the case. 7.550 times 0.85 equals 6. Yeah, defensemen are asking for so much money nowadays, so it just makes sense before he gets better to offer him that kind of contract. Now, let's just keep it going. Let's go ahead and start up the 2034-2035 regular season. I am ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm not even going to slow sim anything. Let's just simulate up the first month and see how it goes. Mäkinen has signed the contract. Awesome to see. Winquist, and no. I will not be trading away an NHL franchise mode legend in Winquist. Francis Swift has gotten the contract. Awesome. He signed the contract on the dotted line. Stu Cam, do not be getting hurt. I swear to God. You better not get hurt, man. You better not get hurt. That's all I'm saying. Just finish up preseason and let's go ahead and start the calendar year. I hope it's another easy season for us. But, you know, it's EA Voodoo. But I'm hoping it goes well. First game of the season is against the Calgary Flames on home ice. 5-4 OT win. Give it to the fans. That is exactly the kind of game they probably wanted. Pittsburgh Penguins. 4-2 loss. Okay, turn it around here. We play a lot of West teams to start the season. 6-3 win. That's a big one. Go to view draft class. What's it looking like this year? I know we don't have a lot of picks this year, but Boris Tikhonov looks to be the first overall pick in the 2035 NHL draft. Oh yeah, he's putting up big points in a men's league there in Russia, so maybe a franchise guy finally coming into the league. So a 7-2 victory against the Minnesota Wild. Dallas Stars, we lose in the shootout. Rangers. Walker Cowan has been injured until the 28th. I'm going to go ahead and throw Robertson in there. Maybe he does decent, and we got a little controversy there. So we pick up a win after a shootout loss. DuPont is hurt. Head coach replaces player. We have a few depth players there in the AHL. Pierre-Luc Dubois, I know you're unhappy about your ice time, but let's persuade you. You see, you're a team player. You've always been a team player. I know this must be weird for you, 36 years of age, not playing as much time as you used to, but it's just the way it's got to be. Detroit's still a dumpster fire, 2-6, make that 2-7. The Columbus Blue Jackets are 6-1-1 to end the month of October, and Matthew Savoie leading the way. No, we're not first in the NHL. We've only played 8 games compared to everybody else, but we're on a pretty good pace to start the season. Now, I think we'll just leave it at 1 month here. I'll show you the stats and then end the episode as it is. Matthew Savoie doing well. I mean, Pierre-Luc Dubois on the third line is getting it done. A freaking Makinen. Are you kidding me? What in the blue hell? It's probably because he's playing with Dubois, but 10 points? He's on a pace. What season is this for him? Sophomore? No, this is his third season, but he's already 1/3 of the way there to his point totals last year. So that is awesome to see. I mean, Sillinger's kind of got to pick it up here. Hoping he does that soon. That would be nice. Fallon, I mean, the second line isn't doing great, but they're almost at all point per game there. I can't be too upset as it is. Cowan's hurt. He only had 2 points. Nick Robertson, 1 point in 2 games. Piton not doing great. Dietz not doing great either. So that fourth line maybe needs a little shot of crack cocaine into their systems. Defense, what is it looking like? Stu Cam, 6 points in 8 games, 6 assists. Francis Swift, 4 points, 4 goals. So he's a bona fide sniper is what you're trying to tell me. That's awesome. Abel Carlos with 4 points as well. Winquist with 3. This guy he's just a stud. I don't know what to tell you. Absolute stud. Hall of Famer for sure. Mikko Järvinen with 1 point, but he's a +3. Hopefully he starts racking up the points here to continue the season. Bernard Boutin is a +7 with 1 assist, but he is a decent player. I'm not too upset with that. Goaltending, how's it looking? Kavanagh is 5-1-1 with 1 shutout, 9-16, and an under 2.5 goals against. I mean, LaPerriere has only played 1 game, but turn it around there, bud. I mean, Kavanagh's doing pretty well. I can't be too upset with that. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.